Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Night City. See what I did there? Welcome to Night City is a hugely popular collection for Cyberpunk 2077. And today I'm here with Modsetti, aka Sarah, to tell you about it and why it's worth your time. Welcome to Night City is actually two mod collections in one. The first offers a Vanilla Plus experience that enhances the original game, fixes some bugs, bumps up the visuals in some areas, and just generally makes things easier with some quality of life improvements.
Does add some really cool features, which we'll talk about.
Sarah, you actually got to interview the masterminds behind this collection. Was there much that really stood out to you?
So yeah, I had the pleasure of interviewing this team. I'll sprinkle a few insights from them throughout this video, but basically the project is led by Z9R, who started it all from one simple idea, which was to make Cyberpunk better without breaking it. And then there's B, the model liaison, and last but not least, Tim TA, who jumped in later to handle support, planning, and testing as the list grew. But obviously it's not just those three. The collection is the result of a huge community effort. There's modders like ViperC48 who totally revamped the enemy AI to make combat smarter and more challenging. We've got Phoenicia, who adds cool cyberware and gameplay options that feel balanced. And there's a massive group of playtesters too, helping catch bugs and give feedback, which keeps everything really tight and polished. So it's great.
Should we talk about a few of our favourite mods?
Yes.
On the visual side, I'm a big fan of the Enable Advert Animations mod, which takes the sort of sci-fi vibe up a little bit, animates all the signs in the adverts.
Like Blade Runner-y style.
Yeah, exactly, very Blade Runner. And there's an immersive Ripper-Doc mod. So when you go to the Ripper-Doc, instead of just loading the menu, you'll actually sit in the doc's chair, and it's just a little animation, but it's just a nice little touch.
That's cool. It does make a difference. Talking of like fun little touches, we've got Dance Off by Deceptius. It lets you dance with characters like Judy, Panam, and Johnny on the club dance floors. You do need to be on good terms with them, and they have to be alive, of course. But it adds a really nice touch of realism. You could just go clubbing, give V a bit of a life. It's pretty nifty. And you can meet them in Totentanz, Riot, Empathy, Seventh Hell, and the Heavy Hearts Club. There's a couple.
Pretty cool. It's a pretty cool little mod.
Wow.
And there's a mod called E3 Smart Windows, which adds the sort of holographic screens that were in the original E3 demo. So in your apartment, you have like a really cool sort of in the glass holographic window that you can press buttons on and change your apartment vibe and that kind of thing through there. So that's really cool.
Again, that's very Blade Runner style.
Very Blade Runner. Very. That's my vibe. I like the dystopia stuff.
I do. I like Blade Runner. What's not in Blade Runner is cats.
Cats.
I don't know if that's a good segue or not. I'm a big cat lover, and I'm very hyped for this next mod called Apartment Cats Custom Cats, another mod by Deceptius. It's a very simple mod. We all do love nibbles, of course, but with this mod, you can add your own cats and pick the colour. So, for example, you can make V a crazy cat lady and have a different cat in every apartment.
One of the creators of the collection, Z9R, actually stated in the interview that first-time players should have no clue if what they're seeing is from a mod or not. So if you're new to the game, definitely still consider it. And if you're coming to it from watching Edge Runners, for example, there's a really fun little mod that will give you a tour of some of the locales from each episode, which is a really nice touch and introduces you to Night City.
As part of the group of modders that make the collection, we have the Merchants of Death, which is a group dedicated to weapon modding within the collection. So part of that group is Cjax, who created Extra Iconics, a mod that adds 17 new iconic weapons to the game. They are beautifully designed, and Cjax likes to focus on gameplay variety and immersion. During my interview with them, they said that Cyberpunk 2077 is an expansive game with a wide breadth of systems to interact with and possible approaches for players to take. But some of these mechanics were simply less impressive than others. Why would you rely on cyberware and environment to set up a ricocheting shot around an obstacle when a similar weapon could instead simply shoot right through any kind of hindrance, which makes total sense.
Yeah, you can totally see that.
Yeah, you can really see this philosophy with these weapons. They're very cool.
Speaking of new weapons, Mjolnir is in the mod list.
No
Thor's
way.
hammer, yeah, so you can become a cyberpunk god and throw that around.
Well,
I also really like there's a mod called the Mox Cache, which adds some pretty imaginative, iconic weapons to the game. There's 2 that we can show on YouTube and 1 we probably can't. Wink,
I
wink,
can
nudge,
imagine
nudge.
why.
Sloppy Seconds, which fires bullets that bounce between enemies and poison them. And Glitch Bitch, which shoots little tasers at people, and which they kind of charge up and then zap them. They're unique options. They fit right into the world of Cyberpunk, but they just have their own little flavour. And if you want to go find out what that third one is, you're going to have to go check out nexusmods.com.
There you go. There's your reason.
You got all these new weapons. There are mods that make sorting your inventory a bit easier as well. There's one just called Better Quality Sort that will separate enhanced level gear from just standard level gear. So instead of it just being level 5 and level 5 plus, you can separate those 2 out. It just makes it a little bit easier because you will have a lot of gear, a lot of weapons, a lot of cyberware from these mod packs, and it just makes it a bit easier to flick through them.
I like those really small details. I've got one that I'm a big fan of, which is Immersive Time Skip by DJ Kovrik. It changes the vanilla time skip to look like a really cool time lapse, which I'm sure you're seeing on screen right now.
You are, and it looks really awesome. I love how things go faster, but they don't go so much faster. So you can still watch people walking, you can still see adverts and billboards animating, cars going by, and the weather changing, which is really, really neat. It's a really
I
cool
wonder
feature.
if anyone has ever used that mod and they've seen something crazy happen on the street.
Yeah, just like a gunfight going off in the background. The coolest one was if you do it in Corpo Plaza, you can see the holographic fish swim really, really fast in circles.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah,
We'll have
it's
to
really
do that.
fun.
Should we talk about the thing?
Yes, so let's talk about Cyberpunk Thing. So that's we talked about 2 collections in one here, and that's the other set of mods included in this collection. It's super easy to switch between them, but Thing, I would say, offers something more aimed at the experienced Cyberpunk players, would you say?
Oh, for sure. It turns the difficulty mode way up and strips away any hand-holding. It's quite terrifying, to be honest, because enemies will actually outthink you. Z9R said that they were heavily inspired by games like Ghost of Tsushima on lethal difficulty and Shadow of War on brutal. So those words alone let you know how crazy it is. Do note though, Thing is still in development with features still being tested. You can give it a go in its current state, but all I would say is good luck.
In this collection, enemies have more abilities than they did before, so they can even hack you now. So they can turn off your eye cyberware so you can't see, or you're temporarily blinded. They can even give you a cardiac arrest.
Oh my god.
So there's a lot more to think about playing with this. But like I say, if you're new to it, probably play with the Vanilla Plus. There's more of a focus on rebalancing the game, making it more difficult, but also more rewarding. We'd obviously recommend installing this fantastic collection using our very own Nexus Mods app, which is available for you to preview right now and makes downloading all those mods really, really easy. That's a shameless plug, but it is actually great. If you do, give us some feedback, tell us what you think, and let us all know in the comments what your favourite mod in the collection is. After any more modding inspiration, subscribe to the channel, take a look at some of our other showcases for Cyberpunk or any other games that you're into. See ya!
Bye!